This page showcases the cover of Nintendo Power, prominently featuring Kirby 64, the crystal shards with multiple Kirbys and characters from the game. It highlights previews for upcoming Nintendo 64 titles like The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, Mega Man 64, and Banjo-Tooie. There's also a section dedicated to Game Boy Color epics including Crystallis, Warlocked, and Heroes of Might and Magic. The main feature appears to be a wrap-up of E3 coverage. This page is an advertisement for Nintendo Power magazine, promoting its coverage of Pokémon Stadium. It features dynamic artwork of several Pokémon, including Blastoise, Mewtwo, Charizard, and Pikachu, in a stadium setting. The ad highlights a subscription offer with bonus items related to Pokémon. The next page presents the contents for the July 2000 volume. Headlining this issue is Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, with a promise of in-depth strategy to help players master Kirby's unique abilities and combine powers to find all the crystal shards. Beyond the main guide, features include a deep dive into Banjo-Tooie, offering new secrets and details. A preview of Ia's take on the world is not enough, focusing on its stealth gameplay, and an exclusive look at The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, featuring insights directly from the legendary Shigeru Miyamoto and the development team. Strategies for International Superstar Soccer 2000, Super Bowling, Warlocked, Crystallis, and Heroes of Might and Magic are also covered. The issue rounds out with standard departments like player questions, secrets, polls, and previews of upcoming releases. The next page is the Player's Pulse section, filled with reader letters covering E3 predictions and various Nintendo game topics. Readers weigh in on what they expect from the upcoming E3, with significant buzz around the new console, codenamed Dolphin, and potential sequels like Smash Bros. And Wave Race 64. There are also questions about character specifics, such as where Ash keeps his Pokeballs, and the life choices of Mario. The magazine staff humorously responds to these inquiries, offering their insights and reactions to the fan predictions and artwork. The page also touches upon game ratings, specifically mentioning Perfect Dark's high score, alongside other top-ranked titles like Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Banjo-Kazooie. The page features several pieces of reader-submitted artwork of characters like Link, Pokemon, and Mario. This page features the latest game rankings, with the Nintendo 64 Top 20 showing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater making a massive debut at number 1, shaking up the chart led by Pokémon Stadium and GoldenEye 007. The Game Boy Top 10 remains strong with Pokémon Red, Blue, Yellow holding the top spot, followed by The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX. The Most Wanted list reveals exciting anticipation for games like Pokémon Gold and Silver and The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. The reader letters continue, covering various game topics. There's also a report on celebrities attending E3 2000, catching stars like Steven Spielberg. Finally, they ask players to write in about their E3 highlights and game predictions. This page is a Walmart advertisement highlighting Nintendo 64 consoles, colorful Fantastic controllers, the expansion pack, and popular games like Mario Party 2 and Pokémon Stadium, all offered at everyday low prices. This page dives into the world of Kirby 64, the crystal shards on the Nintendo 64. Kirby, King Dedede, Waddle Dee, and Adeline are all featured prominently. The core quest involves traveling across 6 distinct planets to collect shattered crystal shards, a task often requiring Kirby to inhale enemies to absorb their abilities. The game also offers fun mini-games like 100-yard hop and bumper crop bump for up to 4 players. End-of-stage bonus rounds let you collect prizes, including mystery cards that unlock enemy info details. The page highlights Kirby's signature ability to swallow enemies and gain their powers, showcasing 7 standard copy abilities: Burn, Stone, Ice, Needle, Bomb, Spark, and Cutter, crucial for solving puzzles and defeating foes. This page continues the look at Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, focusing on power combos, and the Shard Wars quest. It explains how combining 2 base abilities creates powerful new attacks, showing examples like Burn and Stone making a volcano, or Bomb and Cutter creating a throwing star. The Shard Wars section provides a guide for finding the crystal shards on Popstar, detailing specific stages and challenges. It describes navigating levels, using required power-ups to bypass obstacles, and facing bosses like the possessed Adeline, King Dedede, and an apple tree, each yielding a shard upon defeat. The guide emphasizes revisiting stages, if needed, to find the right power-up combination for each task. This page continues the guide for Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, detailing how to find the remaining crystal shards in the worlds of Rockstar and Aquastar. In Rockstar, the guide covers desert stages, ancient ruins, a cave, and a UFO site. It describes overcoming obstacles like burrowing enemies and navigating structures to reach hidden shards. The ruins section features King Day helping Kirby, and the cave requires skilled swimming. The Rockstar boss involves dodging diamond attacks before retaliating with a needlecutter combo. Moving to Aquastar, the guide explores beaches, a forest river, and underwater areas. It mentions using a raft with Waddle Dee and the hazards of underwater currents and exploding fish. Shards are found by exploring environments and solving stages-specific puzzles. The Aquastar boss is a giant whale that requires precise swimming and attacks to defeat. The next page continues the Kirby 64 guide, detailing the remaining worlds, Neostar, Shiverstar, and the concluding section, Pretty in Pink. And in Neostar, navigate the jungle with its tricky traps, brave a minecart ride in the cave with Waddle Dee, traverse floating mesas over chasms, and survive the volatile volcano with falling rocks and lava. Each area presents unique challenges and hidden shards. Shiverstar brings a change of pace with a bobsled ride, platforms among the clouds, a snowbound village with deceptive paths, and a complex toy factory. Expect various puzzles and enemies, including a robot boss, on your quest for the final shards in these frosty and mechanical environments. The guide concludes with a brief note on the remaining challenges in Pretty in Pink, emphasizing the fun and variety of the game as you approach the end. This page is a vibrant advertisement for Game Boy Color titles available at Electronics Boutique. It showcases popular games like Perfect Dark, Wario Land 3, Crystalis, Warlocked, and Donkey Kong Country, along with several Pokemon games including Trading Card Game, Yellow, Blue, Red, and Pinball. The ad highlights the store as where the world shops for interactive games and includes contact information and a $5 off coupon. This page dives into the highly anticipated sequel, Banjo-Tooie. It features the iconic duo Banjo and Kazooie, alongside the shaman Mumbo Jumbo, highlighting their increased importance in the new adventure. The article discusses key gameplay mechanics, notably the ability for Banjo and Kazooie to split up for the first time, allowing for solo exploration and unique abilities. Mumbo Jumbo is also featured, no longer limited to just transforming the heroes but becoming a playable character with his own magical skills. The page includes quotes praising the game and its characters, along with screenshots showcasing various environments and character models from the game. It lists the game's release date as Fall 2000, and mentions other characters like Gruntilda, Bottles, Jinjos, and introduces Humba Wumba. This page dives deeper into Banjo-Tooie's core gameplay loops. Humba Wumba takes over the transformation duties, granting Banjo and Kazooie a variety of forms like a van, a bee, a detonator, and even a dinosaur, essential for navigating the world. These makeovers are fueled by Globos and tailored for specific obstacles. The game is packed with minigames, described as maddening but rewarding, with Jiggies, testing Banjo and Kazooie's skills both together and separately, including first-person egg-shooting challenges. Boss battles return, bigger and tougher than before, requiring Banjo and Kazooie to utilize their honed swimming, shooting, and other abilities to take them down. Screenshots showcase the vibrant transformations, chaotic minigames, and intense boss encounters, highlighting the action-packed nature of the adventure. This page continues the coverage of Banjo-Tooie, highlighting new and returning characters like Bottles, Gruntilda, the Jinjo Monarch, King Jingling, Minjos, and Jinjo impersonators. The game introduces new egg types, such as Ice, Fire, Grenade, and Clockwork, enhancing Banjo and Kazooie's abilities. Features like a mysterious world-spanning train, secret passages, and warps promise a vast and interconnected world, making it the biggest Banjo-Kazooie game yet. Screenshots display various characters and game environments. The page also includes an advertisement for Tomb Raider on Game Boy Color, featuring Lara Croft and screenshots, promoting the action and exploration elements available on the handheld. This page is your secret headquarters for the coolest codes on the planet. It dives into cheats for several 64 titles, revealing secrets straight from the developers. For Excitebike 64, you can find a hidden cheat menu to enable Big Head Mode, activate stunt bonuses, or make bikers invisible. Vigilante 8, Second Offense offers passwords for invincibility, lighter vehicles, maximum stats, and unlocking all characters. Cyber Tiger Golf lets you rename players to unlock hidden characters like Marvin the Alien, or a striped Bengal tiger. Plus, a secret volcano course. Disney's Tarzan hides cheats for things like infinite lives, and all letters accessed via a specific control pad sequence. And Road Rash 64 lets you unleash mayhem with button combos for enhanced attack damage and instant access to all weapons. This page is your source for classified intel, bringing you a collection of codes and tips for popular 64 titles. For Duke Nukem 0 Hour, you can unlock a wardrobe of outfits and character types, from Posh Duke to various enemies, by entering codes at the title screen. Nuclear Strike 64 grants you battlefield advantages, with cheats for infinite fuel, ammo, stealth mode, and more. NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC, reveals button sequences entered on the Versus screen to activate features like big heads, hotspot displays, and uniform changes, using a system familiar from other Midway games. Plus, you can step onto the court as a team mascot by entering their specific name and pin. Finally, there's a tip for Street Fighter Alpha on how to go straight to battling tough opponents like Akuma or some Bison in arcade mode. This page dives into International Superstar Soccer 2000, highlighting Konami's latest entry in the series for 64. It promises enhanced realism, impressive footwork, and superior audio compared to previous versions, suggesting even tough critics will enjoy it. The page provides strategic advice, detailing how to improve your scoring with tips on high crosses, through balls, quick passes, long shots, and mastering set plays. It also covers defensive tactics, emphasizing anticipation and positioning rather than just tackling. You can compete in leagues, various cup tournaments, practice skills in training sessions, and even jump straight into penalty shootouts. The journey to the cup is full of action, animations, and lively crowds. This page delves deeper into International Superstar Soccer 2000, first by profiling several top teams you'll encounter. It covers their strengths, playing styles, and key fictional players, from Brazil's quickness and skill with Rodert and Flavio, to Italy's frustrating defense led by Canabro and Pirelli. The page also introduces the unique Troubles Afoot scenario mode. Here, you're dropped into 16 specific, challenging match situations, like trailing late in a game or defending a narrow lead, and tasked with finding a way to win. The page highlights 10 of these scenarios, with screenshots detailing the score, opponent, and strategic objective, offering a great way to test your skills under pressure. The next page continues the deep dive into International Superstar Soccer 2000, presenting more of the game's unique scenario mode challenges that test your strategic thinking under pressure. It also explores the game's mechanics, detailing the importance of quality control, understanding team dynamics, and the options available for customizing your own perfect player with specific stat points. The page wraps up the coverage with a final, good ol' review, highlighting the game's smooth gameplay and competitive AI despite lacking a league license. The right side of the page features an advertisement from Warner Bros. Studio Store showcasing Nintendo products, including Game Boy Color systems and titles, along with various Nintendo 64 games. This page showcases Super Bowling for the Nintendo 64, a game described as surprisingly intense and slightly psychedelic. Originally from Japan, it features smooth animation and aims to provide a challenging bowling experience. The coverage details several game modes, including Turkey Time focused on getting strikes, Hit the Lanes for practice with customizable throws, and Partner Up for multiplayer options. A unique Fast and Furious mode presents a race against time, while Golf plus Bowling equals Madness merges the sports with stroke play and match play modes, emphasizing strategic pin clearing. The review highlights the game's distinctive visual style, accurate physics, and difficulty, noting it's definitely not a casual bowling sim. This page provides expert tips for mastering difficult spares, or splits, in Super Bowling's challenge mode. This mode tests your ability to pick up 10 different splits, with fewer balls available if you fail. The guide covers common and challenging configurations, such as the baby split, bucket, Cincinnati, fence, Christmas tree, 710 split, double wood, and making it fit. For each split, it details the pin setup and offers strategic advice on ball placement, angle, and technique to knock down the remaining pins. Essential bowling techniques like hook, power, and accuracy are also discussed, with accuracy highlighted as the most important factor for consistently picking up these crucial spares. This page continues the look at Super Bowling, introducing the characters and new modes. It describes the different characters, like Hyro the Bowling Hero and Alpha the Bowling Beauty, detailing their unique strengths and how they affect gameplay, particularly the accuracy bar. Building on the previous page's focus on accuracy, tips are given on choosing ball weight. The new acquisition mode is highlighted, where defeating opponents unlocks bizarre lanes and unique characters, including creatures and themed locations like Loco lanes. There's also a section on trying for a perfect 300 score in difficult settings. Additionally, the page features Men in Black, the series for Game Boy Color, describing the mission to stop aliens arriving on Earth. Several other Game Boy Color titles are also briefly showcased at the bottom. This page dives deep into the legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, calling it a most innovative adventure. It explores how the game builds on Ocarina of Time, sharing its engine but introducing crucial differences, most notably the harrowing 3-day time limit before the moon crashes. This creates intense urgency and forces Link to relive cycles, learning more with each attempt. The game is presented as a mystery, where Link acts like a detective, uncovering secrets. A major gameplay shift is Link's ability to transform into different forms, like a Deku Scrub, Goron, and Zora, essential for progress. The article also touches on the game's opening, where the Skull Kid steals the titular mask, pulling Link into the parallel world of Termina. It highlights the new fairy companion, Tattle, and notes the controls are familiar to Ocarina fans. A quote from Eiji Aonuma emphasizes the team's goal to give more depth to characters, both old and new. This page continues the look at Majora's Mask, detailing Link's key transformations into a Deku Scrub, Goron, and Zora, explaining the unique abilities each form grants for traversal and combat. It introduces the parallel world of Termina, its central hub Clocktown, and diverse regions, highlighting how familiar-looking characters behave differently. The vital role of the mask merchant and the quest to retrieve his stolen mask to save Termina is covered. The article also touches on the scale of some characters Link encounters, and the many instances where Link must help others facing various plights across Termina. It notes the return of classic Zelda items alongside new ones like the pictograph box, and confirms fighting mechanics are similar to Ocarina of Time, emphasizing Epona and Z targeting. Music remains important, with Zora Link even joining a band. Beyond transformations, a variety of other masks offer different effects, like enhanced speed. Shigeru Miyamoto is quoted, stating the primary goal was to present something mysterious. This page continues the deep dive into the legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, featuring the minds behind the game, Eiji Aonuma, Takashi Tezuka, and Shigeru Miyamoto. They explain that the unusual 3-day cycle and parallel world stemmed from a desire to explore characters more thoroughly than in Ocarina of Time, likening the focused experience to exploring a garden. Miyamoto clarifies the tone is intended to be mysterious, not scary. They reveal Majora's Mask is controlling the Skull Kid, who is merely a puppet. The interview confirms the game's North American launch date is November 24th. Adjacent is a full-page advert for Metal Gear Solid on Game Boy Color, showcasing stealth action gameplay. This page dives into Warlocked, a real-time strategy game from Nintendo and Bit Studios for the Game Boy Color. It's their first foray into the RTS genre on the handheld, pitting human forces against hordes of supernatural beasts in a war of conquest. Gameplay involves building infrastructure, gathering resources like gold and fuel with workers, and commanding units like knights, archers, and grunts for the humans, or warriors, skeletons, and goblins for the beasts. Beyond the main campaign, the game offers powerful wizards to collect and trade via the infrared port, each providing unique abilities. For relaxation, finding special scrolls unlocks bonus games like a slider puzzle and high-stakes poker, the latter even wagering your in-game war chest money. The page also highlights a head-to-head versus mode against the computer, with 9 different battle map scenarios, promising a real-time strategy experience accessible to newcomers while challenging veterans. This page continues the deep dive into Warlocked, detailing the structures you'll build and the powerful wizards you can recruit. The Architecture Tours section explains essential buildings like main halls for resources, barracks/pits for training soldiers and archers, temples for summoning wizards, and specialized structures like dragon eggs, farms, and towers, all requiring gold and fuel. Mastering the placement and use of these buildings is vital for building your army and managing resources in this RTS. The Wizard World section highlights the importance of rescuing captured wizards. These powerful allies, belonging to human, beast, or mercenary alignments, possess unique abilities that can dramatically impact battles, from transforming enemies to boosting allies or providing utility like resource conversion. Collecting and wisely deploying these spellcasters is a key strategic element beyond unit management and building construction. This page provides a guide to the human campaign in Warlocked, known as Azrael's Assault. It walks you through a series of levels, each with its own map screenshot and a brief description of the objective or key strategy. You'll progress through various environments, from forests and snow to deserts and volcanic areas, undertaking tasks like harvesting resources, training troops, rescuing important figures like Azrael, and overcoming specific enemy defenses such as the Tree of Evil or the Dragon's Horde. The guide offers tips for tackling challenges like stashed skeletons or repairing structures to gain access. The campaign ultimately leads to the final confrontation at Zog's fortress. A small section also highlights available wizards, reinforcing their importance in your army. This page details Zog's scheme, the campaign where you command Zog's evil army in Warlocked to conquer Azrael's castle. It serves as a guide, suggesting players new to the game complete the human campaign first before tackling this more difficult one. You'll navigate levels like flesh farms for resource gathering, sand canyons to face giant spiders, burning bridges requiring repairs, and plague lands using infectious magic. Different levels feature unique challenges, such as rescuing a wizard from a human shield, destroying barracks with goblins, or utilizing dragons effectively. The guide provides strategic tips for each stage, from focused attacks with specific units to using wizards like Sleepwiz or Plaguewiz. The ultimate goal is to overcome human defenses across diverse terrains, leading to the final battle at Azrael's castle. The next page explores the multiplayer modes in Warlocked, specifically the Versus mode, where players battle on unlocked maps. It operates similarly to the campaign, pitting human against beast, with different starting resources and unit counts on maps like Gold Rush and various castle sieges. The guide outlines objectives and strategies for these unique battlefields. Additionally, it explains how beating campaign levels unlocks a feature called Unlocking War, allowing players to save units and resources to build custom armies and even trade them via infrared for CPU-controlled matches. The right side of the page promotes several Game Boy Color games from Infogrames, including Ronaldo v Football, Test Drive Le Mans, Stream Sports, and Test Drive Cycles. The next page dives into the new look for Mega Man in Mega Man 64. This title reboots the series with a 14-year-old Mega Man on a water-covered world, focusing on exploration and digging for treasure. It's an enhanced version of Mega Man Legends, featuring analog control and Rumble Pack support. The page introduces the main characters: Mega Man in his digger suit, the resourceful mechanic role, the loyal robotic monkey Data, and his wise grandfather. Screenshots showcase the game's 3D polygonal world. There's also a brief history section tracing the Mega Man series from its NES origins through various installments, highlighting the evolution of the Blue Bomber. This page continues the look at Mega Man 64, shifting focus to the primary antagonists, the Bone family. You're introduced to Tron Bone, the cunning young mechanic leading the pirate crew, her flamboyant father Teaselbon, and the surprisingly infantile Bonbon. The page highlights Tron's 40 loyal, albeit somewhat clumsy, servbots who do the Bone's bidding. Screenshots showcase these villains and some gameplay moments from Mega Man 64. The Mega Mania section confirms Mega Man 64 will bring the series into a 3D world while keeping the classic feel, set for a September release. It also mentions Mega Man X for Game Boy, a new 2D entry due in October. The historical timeline of the Mega Man series continues from the previous page, detailing more past titles. This page is an advertisement for Army Men: Air Combat on Nintendo 64, featuring plastic soldiers, a helicopter, and toilet bowl action alongside game screenshots. This page features the Counselor's Corner, a section dedicated to answering player questions about popular games. It offers tips and strategies for Excitebike 64 and Perfect Dark. For Excitebike 64, the advice covers how to unlock the original NES game by completing the tutorial mode and navigating the challenging hill climb track, suggesting tactics like using wheelies for momentum. In Perfect Dark, the tips detail how to acquire the powerful laptop gun on Datadyne Central, strategies for defeating Cassandra's formidable shotgun-toting bodyguards by utilizing environmental elements, and a time-sensitive guide for stopping the hackers in the villa level. Screenshots accompany each tip, illustrating key locations and actions. This page provides helpful tips for popular games. For Harvest Moon 64, it explains how to prevent sickness in the rain by acquiring a blue apple from the water imp and offers advice on improving your chances in animal races. The page also details how to locate hidden treasure near the pond area. In Metal Gear Solid, learn expert strategies to defeat the Slasher Hawk boss in Stage 4, and how to collect all the required colored boxes in Stage 5 by utilizing the conveyor system and finding the necessary key items. The page concludes with a queue and a section offering quick answers for Asteroids Hyper 64, Brunswick Bowling, and Monster Rancher Battle Card. This page features an in-depth interview with key members of the Pokemon Gold and Silver development team, including the general producer and leads for design, programming, and sound. The developers discuss the upcoming games, highlighting new Pokemon, the challenge of balancing the series while keeping it fresh, their favorite Pokemon, and the demanding 3-year development cycle involving around 20 people. They touch upon the goal of making the new games compatible with the original Red, Blue, and Yellow versions, and hint at future Pokemon projects beyond Gold and Silver, aiming for greater connectivity among players worldwide. A shorter PokeChat section offers tips on catching rare Pokemon in the Safari Zone and unlocking the hyper difficulty in Pokemon Stadium's Kids Club. A gallery column showcases fan art featuring various Pokemon. This page features Professor Oak answering questions from readers, offering advice on obtaining a Dugtrio for the Pika Cup Challenge in the original Pokemon games, which involves trading specific Pokemon. He also provides guidance on constructing an effective Pokemon trading card game deck, emphasizing the importance of balancing different card types and evolution stages. The section touches on which technical and hidden machines certain Pokemon like Lapras can learn, showcasing its unexpected ability to use Thunderbolt. The Coliseum section highlights strategies for building strong Pokemon teams in Pokemon Stadium. It presents a featured team used by a skilled trainer, showcasing diverse Pokemon such as Electrode, Exeggutor, Dragonite, Blastoise, Moltres, and Snorlax, along with a list of their key battle moves designed for facing a variety of opponents. Additionally, the page includes a gallery showcasing fan-submitted Pokemon artwork. This page brings us exciting news straight from E3, showcasing the reveal of brand new Pokemon from the upcoming Gold and Silver games. Fans got their first look at 5 creatures: the Grass-type starter Chikorita, the Fire-type Cyndaquil, the Water-type Totodile, and the legendary duo Lugia and Hu. The reveal happened at a special press conference for kids, with creators like Mr. Ishihara on hand. The page also includes an advertisement for official Pokemon trading card zip binders and 3 ring holders, perfect for organizing your collection. This page presents the final report from E3 2000 in Los Angeles, summarizing the massive event and the games that stood out. The show floor was enormous, focusing on upcoming 64 and Game Boy Color titles, where Nintendo and Rare really delivered. The hands-on demos were a major draw, featuring exciting games like Rare's visually impressive Dinosaur Planet, the mature and humorous Conker's Bad Fur Day, the popular multiplayer fun of Mario Tennis, and the surprising thriller Eternal Darkness from Silicon Knights. Other key titles included Banjo-Tooie, The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, Mickey's Speedway USA, and the charming new Paper Mario. Editor and Kame was particularly thrilled with Nintendo's showcase, naming Mario Tennis, Zelda, and Dinosaur Planet among his favorite games from the entire event. This page continues the E3 2000 coverage, focusing on developer Silicon Knights and their ambitious N64 title, Eternal Darkness. The article highlights the studio's dedication to quality, their history including Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, and their close partnership with Nintendo. Eternal Darkness is described as a deep psychological horror thriller, pushing the N64's capabilities with cinematic storytelling, historical settings, and a unique sanity meter mechanic that affects gameplay by creating illusions and strange events. The page also includes E3 picks from Jason and Dan, highlighting favorites like Conker's Bad Fur Day, Mario Tennis, Eternal Darkness, Zelda, Majora's Mask, and Dinosaur Planet. A brief list of other notable E3 moments rounds out the coverage. This page wraps up E3 2000 coverage, highlighting strong third-party showings like LucasArts' Indiana Jones and Star Wars titles, along with many promising Game Boy Color games such as Pokemon Gold/Silver, Donkey Kong Country, Lufia, and Return of the Ninja. The page also features a valuable interview with Shigeru Miyamoto, Eiji Aonuma, and Takashi Tezuka discussing The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, confirming it uses the Ocarina of Time engine, and hinting at future projects including Dolphin launch titles and new characters. Scott picks Dinosaur Planet, Eternal Darkness, and The World Is Not Enough as his show favorites. The final section summarizes a press conference where Nintendo executives discuss the future of the industry and the upcoming Dolphin console launch. This page dives into the world of Crystallis, a classic NES adventure revived for Game Boy Color. It introduces the game's premise of a world where magic clashes with technology, and the quest to wield the ultimate sword of Crystallis formed from 4 elemental blades. The page details the game's magic system, explaining spells like Refresh for healing, Telepathy for advice, Teleport for fast travel, and other utility spells like Barrier, Change, and Fly. It also provides a guide for the early parts of the game, covering locations like the Valley of the Wind and the Cordell Plains, with helpful maps and screenshots to lead you through the initial steps of your adventure. The next page provides an in-depth guide for the NES classic, Crystallis, covering parts 3, 4, and 5 of the quest. Part 3 focuses on navigating MT Saber to acquire the Tornado Bracelet and Paralysis spell. Part 4 delves into the River Kingdom, detailing how to get the Flute of Lime, Sword of Water, Shield Ring, and the Ball of Ice. Finally, Part 5 explores the Angry Sea and Spirit Island, guiding you to find the Love Pendant, Necklace of Fire, Glowing Lamp, and complete the tasks involving the Broken Statue and Sea Altar. The page includes detailed maps of key regions like the Rivers of Portoa, Spirit Island dungeons, and the Angry Sea, along with several screenshots to illustrate points of interest and crucial steps in the journey. This page continues the in-depth guide for the NES game Crystallis, covering crucial steps in Parts 6, 7, and 8 of the quest. Part 6 guides you through coastal towns like Swan and Brynmawr, detailing how to acquire essential items like the Blizzard Bracelet, the Bow of Moon, and the Change and Paralysis spells before heading towards MT Hydra. Part 7 focuses on navigating MT Hydra and Chiron, explaining how to find the Key of Stevix, the Sword of Thunder, the Ball of Thunder, and the Rabbit Boots, crucial for progression. Part 8 takes you to Goa and its fortress, where you'll face tough boss battles against General Kelbesk, Sabera, and Matto. The guide highlights obtaining the Power Ring, Leather Boots, and Warrior Ring, and provides strategies for defeating the bosses to earn the Opal Statue. The page includes detailed maps of the various dungeons and areas encountered in these parts of the game, along with helpful screenshots. The next page concludes the Crystallis Guide, detailing the latter parts of the quest. Part 9 covers navigation through the Deadly Desert, including finding the Oasis and accessing the pyramid to obtain important items, like the Bow of Truth after battling Dragonia. Part 10 focuses on the final challenge in the Sky Tower, accessible from the basement, requiring players to defeat Dinah and Dragonia again to acquire the Crystallis Sword. It highlights the strategic use of items like the Psycho Armor and Storm's Pendant for recovery before the final showdown. The guide also touches upon a new ending in the Game Boy Color version, adding an extra battle against Dragonia outside the tower. The rest of the page features an advertisement for Monster Rancher Battle Card for Game Boy Color and PlayStation, focusing on collecting monster cards for battle. This page features a player's poll contest promoting Pokemon Theater, where you can win a home entertainment system to watch and play Pokemon, showcasing a screenshot of Gengar battling Duckler from Pokemon Stadium on a large screen. It also details a grand prize Enter to Win contest offering multiple tiers of prizes. The grand prize includes a home theater setup, a Nintendo 64 system with Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap, plus the entire Pokemon TV cartoon collection on DVD. Second prizes offer choices of Pokemon videos and 64 games, while third prizes are Nintendo Power t-shirts. This page introduces the strategy game Heroes of Might and Magic for Game Boy Color, highlighting its core gameplay of recruiting heroes, building armies, and conquering territory. The page features a large illustration of 2 creatures from the game, a Minotaur and a Knight, and includes small screenshots showing the game's world map and interface. It also features a section called The Might Stuff, which provides details on various units players can encounter and recruit, such as archers, cavalry, centaurs, cyclops, and others, listing their stats and abilities. The goal is described as simple but challenging. Conquer everything by gathering resources, building armies, and improving your stronghold. This page delves deeper into strategies for Heroes of Might and Magic. It starts with a heroic start, advising players to focus on building up towns and resources early on, recruiting heroes, and avoiding tough fights initially. The Combat Spells section lists various spells available, from protective ones like Anti-Magic to damaging spells like Armageddon and utility spells like Haste and Resurrection. The Magical Midgame section offers tips for expanding your empire, emphasizing securing castles, counterattacking lost ones, striking weak enemies first, using gazebos to gain experience, and keeping heroes close for support. Screenshots illustrate concepts like combat, map exploration, and town improvements. It stresses budgeting resources, recruiting troops, and diversifying your army composition. This page continues the Heroes of Might and Magic strategy discussion, focusing on attacking enemy towns and castles, and defending your own holdings. It lists various adventure spells heroes can use, like revealing enemy stats, summoning boats, or teleporting. Screenshots show attacking enemies, navigating the outside map, surrendering in battle, and managing defenseless units. The game is described as a challenging strategy experience, with random elements, multiple scenarios, and a focus on exploration and resource management, emphasizing the importance of balancing might and magic. The right side of the page features an advert for Magical Tetris Challenge, highlighting the game's fun and excitement with Disney characters like Mickey and Donald, offering multiple modes and versions of Tetris. This page features the Arena section, challenging readers with various gaming feats. It includes the challenges for Excitebike 64, climbing a hill, Pokemon Stadium, unlocking Amnesia Psyduck, and wacky races, beating a time trial. There are also twisted challenges, like a specific trick shot in Mario Golf 64 and scoring 1,000,000 points in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. A quiz section, red, white, blue, or Canadian, asks players to identify the colors or origins of game elements and characters from titles like Mega Man, Pokemon, Perfect Dark, and WWF WrestleMania 2000. There's also a Where Am I? Challenge, asking readers to identify a location in Perfect Dark. The page includes a challenge scoreboard, listing top scores for games like Legend of Zelda, Mario Party, and Star Wars, Episode 1, Racer, and provides answers to quizzes from a previous volume. This page gives us a look at the Game Boy Color title, X-Men: Mutant Academy. It's presented as a classic 2D fighting game, where Professor Xavier's X-Men battle forces of evil led by Magneto. The game features several popular mutants, detailing the unique attacks of both the X-Men like Storm, Wolverine, Gambit, and Cyclops, and the evil mutants including Sabretooth, Pyro, Toad, Magneto, and Mystique. Players can build a rage bar to unleash powerful attacks. The page highlights various game modes including Story Mode for progression, Battle Mode for structured fights, Survival Mode with a single life bar challenge, Training Mode to practice moves, and a Versus Mode for head-to-head link cable battles. Unlockable characters Phoenix and Apocalypse are also mentioned, adding extra motivation to complete the Story Mode. The content provides a solid overview of the game's premise, roster, combat basics, and different ways to engage with the mutant battles. This page showcases two Game Boy Color titles. First up is Dragon Dance, an innovative take on block-breaking games where you control a dragon as your paddle. It features unique challenges like boss battles, special power-ups earned through a dragon gauge, and modes such as a 100-level Century of Challenges and a 2-player dragon fight via Game Link cable. Mastering the bounce angle and utilizing power-ups is key to progression. The page also covers Test Drive Le Mans, a licensed racing game featuring various cars and tracks. Players can experience different modes, from quick arcade races to a 10-race championship season, and the grueling Le Mans mode with up to 100 laps. Success depends on mastering driving techniques, car setup, and strategic racing. This page features 3 Game Boy Color titles. QX Adventure puts a new spin on the classic arcade line drawing game, adding an adventure mode where you play as Sparky exploring an island, battling monsters, collecting treasure, and even decorating your ship. It includes strategic tracing tips and various multiplayer options. Next is Moomin's Tale, a platformer based on the Finnish characters, offering varied gameplay from side-scrolling to top-down views as you climb, jump, and solve mysteries. Finally, Armada F/X Racers is a futuristic racing game with first-person controls, pitting you against opponents and alien invaders on challenging tracks across different planets in various modes like campaign and survival. This page jumps into the action with several game previews. First up is Lemmings vs. On Game Boy Color, bringing the classic puzzle action to the handheld. You'll need to assign various jobs like digging or blocking to guide the little creatures through levels, featuring different modes and even competitive play via link cable or infrared. Next, Test Drive Cycles, likely for Game Boy Color as well, puts you on powerful motorcycles across famous real-world locations, offering a tournament mode to earn cash for bike upgrades and power-ups, plus options for single races or two-player challenges. Finally, there's a large feature on Polaris Snowcross for Nintendo 64 and PlayStation, showcasing high-octane snowmobile racing with tricks, licensed sleds, and various tracks and leagues, including a contest to win a real sled. This page dives into game reviews for the Nintendo 64. First up is Super Bowling, which gets a 7.1 overall, noted for its colorful anime style but tricky power gauge making perfect shots difficult. Reviewers found it the best bowling game on 64 despite challenges, with decent AI in the computer players. Next is Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, earning an 8.1 overall. This 2.5D platformer brings back Kirby's signature abilities and features multiplayer minigames. Reviewers praised its look and fun factor, despite one finding the title unexciting, while another called it a shard habit to break. Rounding out the page is International Superstar Soccer 2000, with a 7.0 overall rating. It's highlighted as a strong soccer title, with improved graphics and features like Create Player Mode, though some noted a lack of realism compared to other games. Reviewers appreciated the adjustable settings and varied commentary. This page covers Game Boy Color reviews. First up is Crystalis, the classic NES adventure resurrected, earning an 8.4 overall. It's praised for its timeless adventure, improved graphics, sound, and Zelda-like RPG focus. Reviewers called it a great reworking and a cool gaming experience. Next is X-Men: Mutant Academy, a fighting game scoring 6.8. It captures the comic book style with various modes and character moves, though precise timing is crucial for combos. Reviewers found it decent for two-player combat. Following is Warlocked, a real-time strategy title with an 8.2 rating. It offers colorful graphics and strategic depth as you command troops in turn-based battles. Staff appreciated the strategy and sound samples. Finally, Heroes of Might and Magic receives a 6.7. This RPG/strategy port features turn-based adventuring, recruiting heroes, and managing resources on a grid. It's seen as a scaled-down version of the PC game, requiring tactical thought. This page continues the Game Boy Color reviews, starting with QX Adventure, an updated arcade classic rated 7.0. Next is Moomin's Tale, a charming platformer based on the beloved characters, scoring 6.9. Praised for its tight controls. Lemmings vs. Gets, a 6.7, offering classic gameplay, but not fully utilizing the GBC's capabilities. The racing titles Test Drive, Le Mans and Test Drive Cycles receive 6.6 and 6.1 respectively, with Le Mans noted for solid graphics and Cycles for its two-player mode despite a rough ride. The page also introduces the game evaluators, explains the rating system breakdown, and provides ESRB age ratings. The right side highlights GBC games like Ronaldo v Soccer and Stream Sports, humorously reminding players to prepare for battery drain. This page delves into exciting, upcoming releases. LucasArts is bringing two big titles to the N64. Star Wars Episode 1, Battle for Naboo, an action vehicle game inspired by the movie, featuring aerial and ground combat, and Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine, an action-adventure based on the PC game, incorporating Indy's signature whip and puzzle solving. LucasArts is implementing a dynamic difficulty system for Battle for Naboo. Meanwhile, Enix is reintroducing the classic RPG Dragon Warrior series with a Game Boy Color pack combining Dragon Warrior in N2. This release updates the graphics while retaining the deep gameplay that made the series a cornerstone of the genre, appealing to both longtime fans and newcomers. The page also includes small previews of Mario Tennis, Austin Powers, and Paper Mario. This page dives deeper into several upcoming titles. Mario Tennis is hitting the courts with a large roster including new character Waluigi, featuring expressive 3D characters and varied modes like singles, doubles, and special games. Austin Powers, Oh Behave, for Game Boy Color, is highlighted as a surprisingly fun title from Rockstar Games, packed with movie gags and diverse mini-games like side-scrollers and puzzlers across 2 packs. Paper Mario is showcased for its unique visual style, combining 2D characters in a 3D world, offering an adventure similar to the Super NES RPG, with lots of humor and menu-based combat. Lastly, Midway's Rush 2049 for N64 brings futuristic racing to San Francisco, with cars equipped with wings for aerial stunts, boasting a stunt mode, and promising more fun than classic Rush games. This page provides a look at upcoming releases in Pack Peaks. We see Gauntlet, Legends coming to Game Boy Color, bringing its classic arcade dungeon crawling with co-op link-up. Bucket Soccer is highlighted for its deep team editing features and arcade-style gameplay. Disney's The Little Mermaid 2. Pinball Frenzy offers themed pinball with scrolling boards and minigames. 3Do presents Gobs of Games, a compilation title packed with various puzzles and board games. Motocross champion Ricky Carmichael is getting a GBC game featuring numerous riders and events. The Game Boy Gamut previews include Metal Walker, a unique RPG with robotic combat, and ESPN, The Games, a track and field title. The page concludes with a release forecast listing many games for summer and fall 2000, alongside glimpses of titles like Banjo-Tooie and StarCraft 64. This page previews the upcoming issue, highlighting features on Mario Tennis for Fun 64, detailing its gameplay and coaching tips. Also featured is the eagerly awaited RPG Ogre Battle 64 and the classic Donkey Kong Country, making its way to Game Boy Color. Get a sneak peek at Pokémon the Movie 2000, including a special pullout section. The page also includes a comprehensive list of games available across Nintendo platforms, likely related to the adjacent information about system repair. Is your system busted? Don't worry. Nintendo offers authorized repair services with convenient drop-off or express pickup options, shown alongside various consoles needing service. This page dives into ways for fans to catch up on past Nintendo Power content and guides. You can find lists detailing the features of various back issues, perfect for those wanting to revisit classic articles. There's also a section highlighting official players' guides for top games like Pokémon Stadium, Donkey Kong 64, Jet Force Gemini, and popular Pokémon titles, along with information on how to purchase them directly. The page also showcases the vibrant 64 Fantastic series, featuring the cool Jungle Green console, available at Sears for $99.99. You're pushing the hottest hardware. Built to play the best games. Featured alongside the console are StarCraft 64 and Kirby 64. The Crystal Shards, both priced at $49.99, and noted as available on June 28. Plus, there's new fun coming to Game Boy Color with games like Bionic Commandos, Elite Forces, Wario Land 3, and Crystalis, also hitting shelves on June 28.